Hello, sunshine. Welcome back to another episode. Today's going to be a day in my life episode where I take you along. In the morning, I typically get up and usually open up the blinds, get some sunshine in the room, especially since I'm growing some plants at the moment. And then I usually, because the space is often so confined and I'm always in my room a lot editing, so I try to get some airflow in and some fragrances out. So this one's a frangipani incense, and I get some breakfast ready. Had some focaccia my flatmate made and milkshake. And then here I am. Basically, this area used to be the bottom of my wardrobe with drawers, but I've cleared it out because I wanted to use it as storage, and I felt like this maximized the space better. And also, there wasn't a lot of room to pull out the drawer. So just kind of being creative to maximize the space usage. And before I was using it to kind of put some costumes and filming equipment in there, but it wasn't absolutely essential. And since I'm actually bringing in a pet, I wanted to make this space special for her so she can have the option to sleep with me or also sleep near me. So I cleared up the space, moved everything out, and then was going to work on deciding everything else afterwards. So here I am, giving it a good spray, letting it dry a little bit. Then basically we have this pet, we have two cats that's owned by my flatmate. If you follow my channel, you know Luna and Jizza, and there's actually a cat bed for them, but it's they're not really interested. So I thought maybe I could try and fit it in there. Fortunately, it was too wide, and it was also way too width-wise, I guess. It was also basically stuck out too much, so didn't like that. So I pivoted to using some of these extra blankets that I had. This was one that used to lay on my old couch in my old place when I lived alone, which I thought was fluffy enough to be sort of a bedding. And then I had two other ones. One was a gift from a friend, and which is the red one. And then this gray one that you'll see that I just put down, that one's actually bought for a date originally. He's from Switzerland. He's very big on planes and flying. So there was actually one from, I think, a Swiss airline blanket that they provided, and I bidded that and got that as a gift. But we kind of stopped talking after that, mostly because he was not really into dating, and it just kind of became a weird situationship where I was too involved. Anyway, story for another time. And after that, then I did kind of make some changes again because, well, over here, what I'm doing is, I should probably mention first, is I did give everything a wash, hence why I'm kind of replacing everything. Put one of my cushions down as well. I believe this was one I ordered from Etsy. I had a few for the couch that I used to own, and one of them was also because I was buying it for, again, the guy from Switzerland. Anyway, here I'm just kind of replacing everything, and I did switch things around, sort of like the pillow side, which is the gray one. I kind of want to put it on the right side because I felt like him being able to see me, facing me, would be a little bit safer, especially when she's adapting to a new place and a new owner. Then I realized I haven't brushed my teeth because of my ADHD style kind of brain. Not diagnosed, but just feel pretty certain that's pretty obvious. Anyway, so I just kind of brushing my teeth. My teeth seems to be generally pretty bad. I always have a lot of issues, so I always try to take it pretty seriously in terms of flossing, but I have been a little bit bad lately because of all the hustles. I've been noticing I miss it sometimes at night because I'm just so tired and fall asleep. And I do generally, even when I'm not going out and just staying home all day, I would still apply some hairspray to my hair because it flops around so much after it's washed. It just really, really bothers me. And I have bought hair combs, by the way, but both of them were from Daiso, same ones. After the first one snapped in half, I bought another one. Just realized plastic wasn't the one to go with, so I'll have to buy another one at some point. Anyway, over here, our living space is a little bit of a mess because, well, generally we have a lot of guests sometimes. Well, my flatmate has a lot of guests, and he also likes to do a lot of projects. He's a builder of some sort for a lot of projects, so a lot of house things are actually handmade, which is really cool. But we have another flatmate joining us soon, so we had to make sure the space was nice and clean, especially with the new pet coming around. We didn't want it stumbling on anything it shouldn't be, or eating anything down on the floor that she shouldn't be. And of course, every day also involves a bit of dishwashing. I'm usually the one doing the dishes, but I've been a bit slack when I was busy, and My flatmate Noah has been picking up a lot of slack for me, so I made sure to do some of that today, and we finally caught up, which is pretty good. And living room's just mostly organizing some furniture stuff, and he's got to organize his tools. He wanted that to be left for himself, so I left that for him. But yeah, we have a lot of dishes, to be fair, because he likes collecting a lot of stuff, and a lot of them really cool and fun stuff, but we definitely do need to kind of organize things a little bit here, but you know, one step at a time. And then this is pretty much what we've managed to do today, and a little bit of Jizza time. Jizza, 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 Jizza. Do 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 do. And then I took a bit of time to, in between I did cook some rice and then chucked it in the freezer, and then basically made some fried rice. It was chorizo with mixed veggies and a curry paste seasoned with soy sauce, or this soy paste thing, and also with some onions and some other seasonings like nutritional yeast. It's pretty tasty. And then I did a little bit of cordial, and then took some sort of time in between to make sure I have some break. Didn't want to overwork myself as well, but I did really want to get some stuff done because I have a very long day of shoot tomorrow, courtesy of TGAR inviting me on a lot of cool things tomorrow. So you'll be seeing some of that in the next few episodes. I'm just throwing some ice cubes in there. I always use this water bottle because it has my Sam Tompkins cup holder on it, or I guess, yeah, cup holder, whatever you want to call it, or beer holder. And it's just kind of my standard thing, and I need to drink a lot of water because I always seem to be pretty dehydrated, courtesy of my grandpa's genes. Easily get heat stress. Anyway, having some lunch here, and then it was time to go back in and change up some stuff. I didn't like how the cushion sat, so I thought the log would sit better because it cushioned up more space, just to prevent her from end up like sitting in the wall. And then my flatmate very kindly gave me a new little rug blankie, and I thought that worked better as a blanket. I did actually manage to track down a bed which is just $10 and actually fits perfectly in this space, which was crazy. And it's not super far, it's around the city area, I think around Piedmont. So I'll pick it up tomorrow after work. So I've just wrapped up one of my teapot, well, my only teapot that I've had since a long time. Can't even remember where I bought it, but it's very pretty. Probably should have taken a video of it. I'll see if I can get footage later on and show it later on in another video over the weekend, perhaps when TGAR unboxes it. But I'll show you how I wrapped it. It's not very fancy. It's just kind of a last minute thought, but I felt like he could get a lot more use out of it. Packed a little bit of fried rice for him as well, because I know he probably doesn't struggle with like meals and stuff anymore, from like when he was doing the personal growth group and when things were really hectic and money was particularly bad with like all the car issues and stuff. But I think with people who have grown up with like a very selective amount of small close group of people, it's always nice to get home cooked meals. And I'm pretty sure this is something he would be willing to eat more than the Chinese beef noodle soup that I got him last time, which apparently wasn't really his thing. Anyway. Oh yeah, and I plan on doing a little card. And I just finished the card for TGAR, and I'm popping it in there. Didn't really have time to do coloring and all that. I do have a lot to do in like editing, and it's already 11:30 right now as of, so I got a lot to catch up on. And I do want to make a video asking everyone about name ideas for the little pup coming. I'm just rambling through my storage for a little sticker to kind of make the front of the card. I like to make the envelopes a little bit more jazzed up usually when I make birthday cards for people. So I'm just doing some really fun, cute little cat stickers. Completely irrelevant. I don't actually know if TGAR likes cats, but he has a rabbit. So at least he's an animal person. It's better than leaving a blank in my opinion. So I'm just doing a little bit of that and jazzing it up with some writing. And then finally at the very end of the night, it's pretty much time to pack all my equipment because I had to use them during the day, so I couldn't really do it earlier. I bring my Meta AI glasses most of the time now, just so that I have the option if I want to switch sort of modes for my filming strategy. And also my iPad. Usually I use it for scripts and such. I'm just checking for some news garbage and stuff that I shouldn't be that I don't need, like knives from like the last shoot when I was at iKATANA's place because we did a vegan picnic. Yeah, I bought some food that I had made. That's just some forms I don't need, but may potentially need again later on next year. So I'm just putting that back in the bag. And then the hardest part is I really do need to buy like a tripod bag because I'm doing more shoots outside now, and I've realized that this tripod is definitely too big to fit in anything that I have. This is unfortunately the biggest bag I have. Luckily, when I put in all the other things, it kind of manages to sit all right, especially when I turn it the other way around because it doesn't lay, I guess it doesn't move around as much because the top has a lot more sort of gadgety bits. Anyway, so next is obviously my microphones. Can't forget that if I'm going to interview someone. And this is pretty exciting because this is pretty much the first time I'm interviewing TGAR since I've upgraded everything. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess the mic was the same, but everything else has been upgraded since then. So this experience will be a lot less chaotic, I think. And it's also really cool because I get to see his place for the first time and work in his space. And he's also going to be apparently inviting me as a guest on his podcast. So that's going to be really cool. Make sure you always, big tip, bring a charger, obviously, make sure it's charged up, bring a cable, bring a PowerPoint plug-in as well, just in case there's any place to plug it in. And if you have anything happen to your power bank or whatever, it's always good to have the option. And then I'm just putting everything in the box, tie it up. This is actually just a box that I bought from one of those budget stores, but happened to be the right size as the clear part of the container from the mic product that I bought. It's Boya brand, by the way, if you guys are interested. And I'm just slotting in all the teapot and the card for TGAR. And then tomorrow morning I just have to pack my water and also the fried rice for TGAR. And these are some trinkets that I promised him that's one of those like extendable like little clips that you can clip onto your belt for, like, you know, your Opal Pass and all that. And there's another hanging thing that I don't know what it is. But anyway, thank you so much for joining today's episode, and I'll see you in the next episode. Keep up the sunshine and enjoy your day or night. Bye.